right before I left, me and Zach had a talk. How the is it going to be from where we are right now to somebody getting engaged?
Did you guys stay in the resort? Did you guys? I'm distracted by your face. Okay. How is your butt that tan?
Maybe May.
How are you not remembering anything, or did they tell you to be vague?
So here's the misconception of men fell off.
Dang. Will we see you in paradise?
Yeah.
Why is he sleeping?
Never see anybody again.
We have seen you wearing nothing but a rooster.
It was like some men's underwear thing.
I'm gonna say they forgot the underwear.
Oh my word.
We're thrilled to be speaking to Hot Kenny. Hot Kenny, you have been Hot Kenny to us since we saw your naked bottom on the dodgeball date. You know, here we ask the really tough questions. So I gotta know, how is your butt that tan?
Well, I'm like half Sicilian, so like I'm kind of tan in general, but I do go tanning occasionally. But I go in the stand up, so you don't get no tan lines.
That's really bad for your skin and your body.
I know.
So you were the most vocal about Claire being only interested in Dale and how it was kind of a waste of time for all of you guys. At what point did you know that Claire was really into Dale?
I thought pretty early on, to be honest with you, even before I started saying stuff. Like I was saying stuff like off camera. I mean, honestly, I'd say by the time we moved into the house, like after the first rose ceremony, it kind of like, to me, already felt that way.
You said the house. What do you mean moved into the house?
Like we moved out of our solitary confinement into our like hotel
bro house.
Yeah, into the bro house. Yeah,
the bro resort house.
Yeah.
So now we've interviewed a former producer for the show who told us that the contestants each kind of have their own producer, or the producer is assigned to a couple contestants. Was that your situation?
Yeah, there was several. It wasn't just like it was. You know, I felt like there for the guys there was a handful, and I had a couple different ones.
So how far in advance of Claire's exit were your producers like, listen, something's about to change? How much warning did they give you?
There was really none, to be honest with you. To be dead honest, like we didn't really know when Claire addressed the house that you saw. That's when we knew, to be honest with you, that's what was going on. Like we found out in like real time, kind of like you saw the natural reaction of us finding out, basically.
And you asking for an apology. Yep.
Well, you know, I don't, because at that point, like we didn't know, like, we didn't know if the show was over, like if we were going home, like we didn't know what was going on at that point. Like we just, honestly, I thought it was done. I'm like, oh, good, I made it all the way to the end. Like she found a guy, we're all good.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy were you when you saw Tayshia?
Tayshia was great. I was extremely happy. It was a 10, just having her, like when she first walked in, I didn't know who she was like from before, like, so it was complete. Like some of the other guys knew who she was from other Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise stuff. I didn't even, that was the first time I ever really knew who she was. So it was a 10. Like she's beautiful. She like went out of her way to like want to talk to everybody and spend some time with each guy, and like really legit like felt like she was there for that, you know, for the right reason, which we saw is 100% what ended up happening.
What percentage of the guys would you say are actual Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise fans?
And our cast, I felt like a lot of the guys were. I know like Damar was like super fan. Like if we needed to know any stats or anything, he always knew like anybody from any season. Like he knew everything.
That's great. That's amazing. So he knew all about Claire, everything she'd been through, all that stuff.
Yeah, he knew about Claire. You know, he filled us in on Tayshia. You know, after she came in, like the shows that she was a part of in the past and stuff.
Did you sign up knowing it was going to be Claire?
They reached out to me, part of the recasting part. Like, so they announced Claire's and they shut down, and then they like recasted, like looking for some older guys, basically, I think is what happened. And but obviously I didn't know who Claire was when I started talking to them, and but then they filled me in, and you know, the intriguing thing for me was we were the same age. Me and Claire are the same age. And there was like, I checked her out on Instagram, you know, she had a bunch of stuff with her dogs, and I'm like, all right, dogs, we're the same age, you know, that's not bad. That's pretty good, you know.
Yeah, how much sleuthing did you do? We know that she stalked Dale basically for 4 months,
Yeah.
however long it was. So how much
Yeah,
did you do?
honestly, I really I checked out her Instagram. I didn't know too much. I didn't even watch her season. Like I didn't know too much about what happened with her and what's his face.
Wait, so how did they find you? Like, did they have your name from a previous application or something?
I mean, I don't even know how they came across. Honestly, they hit me up during like quarantine. Like I was literally just at home doing nothing, and kind of got reached out to, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I got nothing going on right, you know, for right now, so it worked out good. I have no clue how they came across me, or I have no idea, because nothing says my age on like Instagram or Facebook or anything. Well, I guess Facebook has my birthday, but I don't know. I don't even know how they knew I was an older guy. I'm not sure.
So when did they reach out to you and how long did you have to quarantine? Like, give us the timeline for you.
Uh, I want to say, I don't know, maybe April or May or something like that. The process started, something like that. Maybe May. I actually didn't find out I was 100% going until probably only less than 10 days before I had left.
And then once you were there on site, how long were you each in your own individual little capsules for safety before shooting began?
I don't remember how many days. It was a few days. Whatever I don't even. It was. I don't remember exactly how many days, but it was a few days, and because it was like, it was just like.
How are you not remembering anything, or did they tell you to be vague? How do you not know what's happening? Okay.
No, I mean, I know it's. I just don't know how many days it was. It was like a week or some. I don't know if it was like, you know, I felt like it was like 6 months, because it was literally, you know, we didn't leave you don't leave the hotel room at all, and it's just, you're locked up.
So did they test you right away, and then did you guys have to keep getting tested?
Yeah. I felt like I mean, I might have been tested 500 times, I feel like. And it was the nasal one. It was bad.
Yuck.
Yeah, we got tested a lot. It was like, it was no joke. Like they were hardcore.
This is like history. I mean, there have been tons of Bachelorette, Bachelor contestants, but no one has done it during a pandemic. I mean, this is kind of like a cool little notch in your belt, right?
Yeah, I think this whole season in general was cool. It was like people say like you missed out on a lot of things being on this season, but you also like, this season will probably always be remembered for a lot of things.
One part that hopefully people will forget was Yosef when he flipped out on Claire. Did you know before that he was a D-bag, or was that your biggest clue?
Well, we all kind of thought something was off with him when we first even met him in the first night. But it was also awkward for me, because like he's sort of like bitching about what happened, and I was like in the middle of the guys that like were naked and doing the whole thing, and I'm like,
Oh, we saw.
yeah, well, I don't know, because even at mental law, I'm like, you weren't there. Like, what's the big deal? Like, me, Blake, and Damar, and Garen were like the main guys who actually took off our, like, and none of us are saying anything, but Yosef, who wasn't even there, is like having a heart attack about it.
Well, speaking of D-bags, you stood up for Bennett at the Men Tell All. Are you guys friends, or do you just not like Noah?
So here's the misconception of Men Tell All. So my little thing with Noah actually was addressing a situation that happened the night I left. People were like, how could you back Bennett? I'm like, I wasn't backing Bennett. I was talking about stuff that with me. But at the end of the day, to answer your question, I am actually friends with Noah, which is I talked to Noah actually a couple days ago, and I'm friends with Bennett too. Like, the weird thing is I've actually spoken, I've talked more to Noah lately than I have with Bennett. So,
Well, at that time, the Men Tell All, Noah gave you some flack for your job. So what, I see your Bye 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 shirt. What is
yeah.
your profession, and will you continue doing it moving forward?
So boy band manager was something that they just kind of went with. So basically what I do is I'm a small business owner. I have me and another guy, and we put together tribute bands, cover bands, and then we basically come up with the concepts. We put the musicians together, basically like Simon Cowell did with One Direction, but like on a smaller scale. Yeah, we have 6 bands, and they play all over the place, and we manage them, book them, do all the social media. So that's, and then the boy band night is just that was the first band we created, and it's like our most popular act. So boy band manager is true, but it's just a smaller little piece of what actually is going on. And then I also have I have another full-time job where I book a music venue. So I'm a booking agent basically for entertainment. It's easy to make fun of boy band manager, but like there's a little bit more to it.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. It kind of like delegitimizes you a little bit that they chose that.
Yeah, I mean, so what I put as my profession is talent buyer, because that's really what my title is. That I've been working for this music venue in Chicago for 17 years. Like that's been my main thing. It's on the south side of Chicago. So my small business, we started about 7 years ago, but I've been doing the other thing for 17 years. So yeah, it became sort of, it sort of made me a little bit of a joke, I guess. But
When the guys were eliminated, did you guys stay in the resort? Did you guys?
Did you revert back to the resort? Okay, sorry, go.
I'm distracted by your face. Okay. So when you guys got eliminated, did you stay in the resort? Were you able to stay together as a group? How did that work?
No, so eliminated, I walk out the door, never see anybody again. And for me, they got me on a flight, like I was gone, like a couple hours.
Dang.
I think it depends on, I know some of the guys were there longer during the day, just depending on flights, and flights at that time were really goofy, trying to find flights.
How produced was Ed showing up to Chris's room instead of Tayshia's?
Hey, well, I mean, I believe Ed could possibly get lost like that for sure. So I don't know. Ed's I probably talk to Ed the most out of everybody still. And that whole thing was like, that was Ed.
Okay.
That was a perfect Ed thing.
We need to know more about Ed, because we constantly were like, why is he sleeping? Wake up, Ed. Because every time the camera goes to him, he's like barely alive. What's his deal?
He was always sleeping. Even in he was like he didn't get up. He was like they always had to wake him up in the room to get him out. He's special. He's specially made.
Special Ed. Okay. We have seen you wearing nothing but a rooster.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What reaction have you gotten from those photos?
Well, it didn't take long for that stuff to circulate, which I figured that would.
Did the producers know about that beforehand? Did you say, hey, by the way, I've got some nude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff I've done, like modeling in the past, like it's all out there. I'm not like shy about that stuff. I'm cool with it. It's I haven't gotten any like hate from it. It's just more of like just people making fun of me and stuff, and it's more of a joke. But I think it's a good picture. It's a good picture.
There's a lot of them, actually. Not that we love you. But no, you look great in them. So they were just like modeling stuff?
Yeah, those I was out. Those were shot in North Carolina in like the Blue Ridge Mountains out there, and it was I was out there doing something for it was like some men's underwear thing, and then they ended up shooting just a bunch of extra stuff. And
I was gonna say they forgot the underwear.
Yeah. Because there was horses, there was the rooster, there's because we were staying. It was like a sort of a farm that we were staying on. So
Hey, life experiences, you know?
yeah,
I say
yeah,
do all the different stuff you can.
Oh my goodness. So
yeah.
will we see you in paradise?
I don't know. It doesn't sound like we'll know for a little while. I've said that if I do get invited, that I would do it.
Now that you've done your research, because I'm sure that you have, and you're buddies with these guys who know everything about every former contestant, like Damar, etc., who would you hope to meet in paradise?
I'm totally honest. I still, because I've actually, somebody else just asked me this, and I've really only looked at, like, I've seen Matt's cast, obviously. We haven't seen him yet, but like I saw who's on it.
Well, do you have like an age?
Oh yeah, what's your age?
Um,
What do you prefer?
I mean, hypothetically, because I'm gonna be, if it does happen, I'll be 40 when the show happens. So I don't know. I would say it most likely it had to, somebody in their 30s would probably be the cutoff. I feel like 20s. I'm just not sure that it's gonna be the same. I don't know, level of maturity or something like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, but maybe if you meet a woman in her late 20s who's really mature, you know?
It's possible. That's why I say, like, I don't really have like a type. I don't have a specific, like, I won't talk to a girl who's in her 20s. Like 100% what you just said. Like, it's really just because, yeah, because I look at, like, going back to the show, like Damar he was one of the youngest guys, but he did not come off as a young guy.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? So what you're saying is 100% accurate. Like, you really don't know until you actually start hanging out and having a conversation. I guess it's probably going to be more, since I'm probably going to be the oldest on the show if it happens. So it's probably more about, like, who could tolerate, what's their cap on the age, or like how old of a guy would you even date, or
Yeah, but your essence is young. Like, honestly, I'm not just saying that because you're sitting here right in front of me. You feel like a young guy. So I don't think anyone's going to go there and be like, oh, look at the old crotchety. I mean, if Bennett was there, then maybe they'd be like, old man river over here. But you exude youth, I think.
oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping it works out. I'd love to do it, honestly. I really
Okay,
would.
last question. Zach, obviously you got to know him. He seems like an awesome human being. Do you see them going the distance, or what do you think about that?
You know what? Clarky and me were pretty good friends, to be honest, while I was there. And being some of the older guy, like, me and him were kind of the older two guys. We had a lot of good, like, old man talks. Right before I left, me and Zach had a talk, and we were talking about, like, and it was like where we were, and then, like, by, like, within 3 weeks, like, it was going to be the end of it. And we're sitting there, and it was like, how the is it going to be from where we are right now to somebody getting engaged? And, like, we had this conversation, and it was just wild to know that it ended up being him. When we were, like, had this whole conversation, we're like, how's this possible? Because at that point, like, neither one of us had that much one-on-one time with Tayshia or anything, so it was weird. But everything that comes out of his mouth, I feel, is 100% genuine, and he's really just he's just a great guy. I do think it's gonna work, because I think Tayshia, like, look, I don't know, I feel like she likes those kind of guys. Like, I feel like, looking at her past stuff, that I like, it seems like he fits right in, but he's just really just seems like a genuine guy, and, like, I trust everything that he said. I think I don't know, I actually feel like it's real. I didn't expect, when I left, I thought Ivan or Brendan would end up at the end. I didn't expect Zach, but I really think that it worked out the way it should.
But we haven't talked about Ben at all, but what is there to say, really?
Ben?
Yeah.
What's his deal? No, I'm just kidding.
I was pretty good friends with Ben too. Ben, I mean, he was pretty open about everything, and a lot of that stuff. He came up in conversations in the house between the guys too. So some of the stuff we knew a little bit. I don't know. Ben always like so I was always the first guy up in the morning, and I would work out, and then Ben would be like, he would lead like a group workout with the rest of the guys later at some point. So it'd be like, it was called Body by Ben, and it was like Ben would like be teaching class, and there'd be like 4 or 5 guys like working out with him.
What most surprised you as an outsider coming into this whole franchise? What has most surprised you?
What really surprised me was like the rose ceremony. Like it was like a 10-hour process. Like I swear to God, some of them at the end, I'd be like, I don't even care. Like, I just want to go to bed, because it'd be like 5 in the morning.
Well, luckily, you'll be on Paradise, and then we'll be able to watch your tan little booty running through the sand and finding the love of your life.
I'll be extra tan for that, for you.
Well, but please be safe. Don't go to the tanning bed. It's so bad.
Honestly, it's literally, it's once a week. It's like level 2, 8 minutes, just to like
Golden brown bun.
just a little toasting, and I don't overdo it.
All right. Well, you're awesome. Thank you so much for chatting with us. And like I said, we hope to see you on Paradise.
See you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Bye, Hot Kenny.
Bye.